It takes. I just wanted to pop on here. Last week, my live was just about 10 minutes, and I really wanted to just remind you of the 3 points or reasons that could prevent you from accomplishing your goals. And today, I'm just popping on to remind you that this is a really critical time. I'm sure you know this, but being the fact that it's just January 10th, you have an awesome opportunity to make this your best year ever. So, I'm going to encourage you not to give up. All right? Do not give up. I know that we've all seen the statistics that, people that whether they say they have resolutions or they have goals, a lot of times, especially if you're a gym person like me, people abandoned those goals or those resolutions as soon as the end of January or beginning of February. And if you are a gym person like me, you will recall that the gym parking lot may be swamped, in January or maybe even February. But then, you know, definitely by March, the regulars are settled in, and some of the ones that just tried, at the beginning of the year have gone on. But I wanted to just share with you this evening, and depending on, well, I realize in Australia it's already morning there, so depending on where you're tuning in, so whether it's Wednesday or Thursday, I just want you to get super clear on what it is you need to do to accomplish those goals, and don't let it be overwhelming. Focus on maybe one thing that you can improve every day. If you're looking to build your sales, whether it's for your company or perhaps you're in sales for another company, focus on the lead generation. And I realize that if you are an entrepreneur, that may be very difficult, even if you have a team, because things will get you off track. And that's the reality of it, right? We're always going to have challenges, distractions, things that maybe entice us. I know we've all heard of, the squirrel analogy, and it's those are. I believe that those distractions are really meant to build resilience, and so it's up to each one of us to figure out, how are we going to manage through those. When I do my laser coaching sessions with my clients, we have 3 objectives when I first start working with them. And the third objective, I'm not going to go into all 3 of them because it's really not pertinent, but the third objective is to determine if there would be anything that would be standing in their way from meeting their goals. And the reason why I started asking that is because I found, of course, that we all get distracted, right? So I found that if we were able to address that and then have a plan to manage through it, that brought them more success. Because let's face it, sometimes it's not just the distractions or, chasing different squirrels, but it's also the fact that, sometimes a client may start with me and they may be moving, relocating across the country or across the world. Okay, well, that is something that we put together a plan so that we don't, we minimize the chances of them abandoning those goals while they are moving or, getting married. Perhaps they have a daughter or son getting married, so there are always going to be these life events There are going to be, business events, things that can throw you off track. But look at the distractions as a way to build your resilience. And because it's January, I believe you may have some goals that you want to accomplish. It's okay if you just want to focus on doing one thing better every day. Do not overwhelm yourself. And so, what I was going to say was, maybe you just focus on committing to do more lead generation 5 days a week or 3 days a week instead of, thinking you have to do everything all at once. Because that, of course, can lead to, um, you know, really being burned out or being overwhelmed. So perhaps it's better if you take a step back to say, okay, look, I am going to focus on doing, this one thing, and preferably we want it to be something tied to revenue production. All right. Because the non-revenue producing activities are not going to get you to where you want to be. So focus on one thing. And of course, it's important that we are on a daily basis able to reflect on what went well, maybe where do we need improvement, but try to make it easy on yourself. Like if you are focusing on doing more lead gen, try to make it easy on yourself so that you're scheduling it at a time that you can actually do it. Okay. Because if you find yourself, like if you set an alarm and you find yourself hitting snooze and I'm not talking about waking up in the morning, but I'm talking about like if you say, okay, I'm going to do lead generation between 9 and 11 a.m., then, do your best to manage the distractions and do not hit the snooze, because then, of course, that's going to run into, your other activities. If you're a coach, perhaps coach 5-6 hours a day. Well, you also need to do your lead gen. And, if you have a team member, doing it, or if you have, a lot of it could be automated, but we still need to make sure that we are making new connections. Okay. So maybe your lead gen or your role in building your network is going to be, sending DMs or commenting on people's posts. But whatever it is, try to commit to doing that lead gen 3 days a week or 5 days a week, and try to get it up to 2 hours a day. Because if you have that and you're looking to really build and scale your business, then in 90 days, you're going to have such a robust pipeline that, you're going to be super excited because you are going to be able to hit your revenue goals quickly. Okay. So, like I said, we're not even halfway through this month. You have every opportunity in the world to make this the best year ever. But I don't want you to give up because, things happen. Life happens. We get sick. We have, family members that are sick. But do not give up. Make this the year, especially if you have been the person that you get super excited at the beginning of the year, and then things kind of get in your way. Don't do that this year. Make 2024 your best year. Okay. So let me know in the comments or send me a DM. Let me know what you're committed to doing before next Wednesday. Let me know. I'd love to know. I'd love to help you celebrate your successes. And remember, sometimes, it's the small steps like getting used to doing the lead gen on a regular basis. And if you can't schedule 2 full hours at first, that's okay. Work up to it. Schedule it 15 minutes at a time. And then, 15 minutes, of course, is better than not doing anything, right? 2 hours would be ideal a day, but 15 minutes is definitely a great start because I realize that, especially if you're in the entrepreneurial world, even if you have a team, we are going to have lots of activities to juggle. So I'm here to listen and cheer you on. And I really believe that this can be your best year ever. So let me know in the comments, like I said, or send me a DM what you're committed to doing before next week. Remember, it's not just Wednesdays that we should be doing whatever it takes. It's actually every day. However, one of my greatest mentors, who I really learned and embraced this philosophy from, I felt it was appropriate to dedicate a day of the week, and I thought Wednesday was appropriate because it's about whatever it takes. So that's what I do. But obviously, the goal and the reality of it is we should all be doing whatever it takes, to get closer to our goals, to meet and exceed our goals, and of course, to help and serve others. So let me know what you're committed to doing, and I will look forward to seeing everyone soon. Goodbye, everyone.